You didn't pack that up. You pack. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Another episode of the Comedians of Entre live.
We're repping, dog. Look at that. We're repping, dog.
Shirt, everybody. After Orlando told me I don't support the homies, I went to Esteban's website. By the way, I bought 2 shirts.
Nice.
I bought this one. I bought the mask.
Yeah.
And my wife right away goes, "You are not tough enough to pull these shirts off. You do not have the street cred." And
if I was shooting a special tomorrow, I would wear this shirt.
Okay.
That's how hype I am about this shirt.
That's
how much I rep.
I love
my
the photography. Frankie, but my wife told me you can wear those home and do not go out on the street because you do not have the street cred to back it up.
You know what it is? You need to do something manly around the house. Like I've been, like you see, this is boxes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not promoting this moving company, but it seems like we are. But I just emptied out the storage because I just realized, dude, I paid like I didn't pay. My wife and I paid like $17,000 in storage fees. You know what I mean?
Wait, not a month. What do you store? Platinum? What are you storing? Diamonds?
No, it was because we've had our stuff in storage for so long. And then I said, she did the math. And then I was like, why did you do the math? You're going to be so mad.
Yeah.
When you see the type of stuff.
What wives do. They want to do the math so that they can write. Do you know how much, anytime my wife starts, do you know how much we spend on electricity? No, I don't. I don't. Automatic withdrawal. I don't know. I don't know.
Wow, you're flossing. Automatic withdrawal. I don't trust that. I don't do that. No, I don't trust that. I don't care how much money I have. I'm never letting anybody sign my checks, and I'm never putting anything on automatic withdrawal. You email me, and you give me an alert to pay.
Every month you call the phone company and pay your bill?
No, they give me an alert. They're like, hey, your bill is due in a week, and then I'm like, right then and there I pay it. But I don't do nothing automatic withdrawal. I don't want no mistakes. I don't want no drama with them. They pull the wrong amount of money out too early. I don't do that. I don't trust it. And again, I don't care if I get blessed to be Jeff Bezos, dog. If I get to become a villain, just a freaking villain.
Billion? All the pennies.
Yeah. Even if I'm a billionaire, like I told you, like Jeff Bezos, dog. I say villain because Jeff Bezos is already talking about building a colony outside of the earth, and that's villain talk to me. If you start talking that, you're a villain. So
Elon Musk. Elon Musk built his own
villain. He's a villain too.
I didn't know you could do that. I would build my own Tesla space shuttle. I didn't know you could do that.
No, not even. That's low key. How about the aggressiveness of, I know everybody's getting sick. I'm opening up my plant. Yeah. Come and arrest me if you want. That's villain talk right there. That's straight up. I don't even know why you have hair. Shave off your little bit of hair. Jeff Bezos did it. He's bald. There you go, dude. That's how you do. You get billions, you get bald, and you get real healthy, and you start coming up with weird stuff that has you outside of this earth.
Okay.
That's legit. Oh, and other people, and like there's people building your materials for half pennies. You know, a week.
Well, I'm excited because our guests are billionaires, dude. You ready for it?
No billionaires allowed. Dude. That's the day I call in.
I'm excited, man, for these 2 guests we got today. They have a very successful podcast called the Yo-Yo Podcast. First up, let's bring in Hooter Moreno. What's going on, brother?
What is up, dude?
I don't want to be promoting these fools, dog. Hold on.
He thinks he's being tracked by the government. And let's bring in your co-host, the other host, Martin Moreno from the Yo-Yo Podcast.
I don't like this.
What up, guys?
What's up, Martin? Because I'm over here promoting these fools, and they don't cut a check. I need to move.
I love it.
You guys don't know Orlando on a personal level. Orlando is very petty and that's why he's gonna turn over those boxes, thinking he's giving them business.
I don't know.
You know,
I don't know.
Getting Orlando 17,000 in storage. How long have you had that storage space, brother?
I've had the storage for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, bro.
You bought all that shit brand new.
Yes. 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 When she told me the price, I said, "Yo, we just bought a Kia. We just bought a Kia." That was a Kia right there, dude. That's a down payment on a house in Denver.
For real, dude. That's a fucking house in some places.
Dude, I know you guys.
I listen to Dave Ramsey. That's the dude in Texas that yells at you about getting out of debt. Mm-hmm. And Dave Ramsey would have been very upset with me. If you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, please look him up. He helps people get out of debt. He's just like, yo, carry cash in your pocket. Don't use your debit or your credit cards for nothing. That's just a trick to help you fall into debt. And if you have stuff in storage, take it out and sell it. Have a garage sale. Because if you're not using it, means you don't need it. And he just proved me right. I mean, proved me wrong. Because Jesus, man. I'm upset,
what'd you do,
dude.
bro? You just took that shit out of storage and put it in your living room, or what's going on, bro?
Oh, it's between the living room and the second bedroom. I don't want to floss on you, but I have a second bed. So right now I'm in the second bedroom, and then right here, and then I painted the other side. This is the shit that Corona's doing. COVID is doing things. This quarantine is starting to.
Yo, real
I was
quick,
like, oh,
Orlando, you're pulling the stuff out of storage. What's the one thing you found where you're like, I got this? Like,
no, I got this. Yo, like, this is the most ridiculous thing. I paid $17,000. One of the boxes was a box full of empty shoe boxes.
Jesus Christ.
So a box. I went to grab the box and I was like, whoa, this is light. What's in here? I crack it open. Nike, the empty. Every single box empty. No new sneakers inside. Just a box full. I was paying storage for a box full of empty boxes.
Wait, was that your doing or was that wifey's doing?
It's probably me, dude. I'm eccentric, dude. I live in LA now. I can say stuff like I'm eccentric. I got quirks.
But you know what? It's like one of those things where it's like, you know what? I might need this box one day. This might come in handy for something. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna start collecting rocks, and they're gonna fit perfectly in this freaking box.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it
is. I don't know if you guys watch Hoarders. That's hoarder talk right now. I watch that show. I get anxiety for throwing everything out.
Yeah.
I could use this metal. One day I'm gonna take this piece of metal. Nope, throw it out.
And then
I have but there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna sell because I have a brand new air conditioning. Because when I first moved into my unit here, the AC broke, and it was like about a 2-week period before the landlord put in a new AC. So I went and bought a little portable unit, and I just, by the time I got it, because I couldn't tolerate it anymore, I only used it for a week. So I got a brand new AC. So a lot of stuff is gonna be going up on Craigslist, man. I'm gonna have strangers coming to my lawn because I don't let them in the house. Can I use your bathroom? No, you can't.
You know what's crazy? When you finally get rid of it, like a little while later, you realize, oh shit, that was worth something. Or, oh man, that's collectible. Yeah. I got rid of that shit. I threw that shit away. That happens also. So then it kind of makes you a little gun shy to pull the trigger and get rid of it because
look at Claudia. One of the fans that's watching, Claudia says she's had a storage since New York. Since she moved to LA, that's the same thing. Since I moved from Florida, since my wife moved, that's what happened to us. We just got trapped. But you know what? If I get the bag one day, meaning getting that money, I'm definitely buying a storage building.
Oh, yeah.
Lando's getting a 4-bedroom pad and using it as storage, bro.
There you go.
That's villain stuff. That's villain stuff right there, Orlando.
Villain talk. But no, real talk. I'm investing in a storage unit. I'm not licensing nothing. I'm just getting Orlando storage. You got shit you need to put away. I got you.
Yo, who has empty shoe boxes?
We got empty shoe boxes. Eric, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I wanted to touch base with Martin and Hooter. What have you guys been up to since the lockdown? Because I know, you guys were on the road for a little bit with the podcast. You guys were touring, and now what's going on? And I know Hooter's big on sports. Like, what have you been talking about? What have you been doing?
Dude, I've been talking about old people jumping off cliffs and shit, dude. I've been I've been commentating on dads practicing t-ball with their sons, bro. I've been commentating on their technique that they're teaching. I'm like, dude, this dad has no clue what he's talking about, bro. He's putting this kid 5 steps behind. And dude, I've just been building shit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now we talking about building. We talking about building career things, or you're like legit building tables?
No. Like house projects. Shit.
Okay.
Dude, like, I built a trampoline. I built a garden. I'm in the middle of converting my garage into a man cave, bro. Dude.
That's talk right there. I'm tired of wifey. I need a place. You know what I've been looking? This is the age I'm at. I'm looking at prefabricated office sheds to put in the backyard so I can get out. I'm looking at them, dude. I'm looking at them like they're Jordans. Like, you ever see people like look at the new Jordans? Like, oh, are those the ones? I'm looking at prefab offices, Orlando, to put in my backyard so that I can
do it. I help you. I got the AC unit for it. Would you be interested in a new AC unit?
I'm gonna need some empty shoe boxes so I can pop it up.
Got you. I'll be there with you, man. I'll help you put it together. One of my boys actually did that as a barber back in the day, where he got into a fight with the owner of the barber shop, and he bought a really nice shed, put it in his backyard, slapped the AC unit on it, and put one barber chair with mirrors, and he was done.
Smart.
Yo, some of these little sheds look legit. Like they're like nice.
Yeah.
I'm in a hole. This is what I'm doing.
I'm with you. I don't even know why you told me. I'm gonna start sending you links. I'm gonna do some Google searching for you. We're like, there you go, dude. This is the one. This is the one right here. It has a finger code lock. Yeah. They can't get in for real.
Like she has a box of empty electronic boxes.
I'll tell you what, it's got me reevaluating my life, bro. This whole quarantine. If I've had a time, if you ever had time to get in your own head and think, holy shit, this is it right now. I'll go from meditating and trying to be spiritual to popping whiskey and getting fucked up to smoking weed to I'm gonna catch up on this show. I'm gonna dude. You start realizing. I started reevaluating the next chapter of my life, bro. Like, okay, I'm 50 now. When we come out of this, what am I gonna do? Because I don't know. We all want to assume that it's gonna be business as usual, and that would be great. But I think it's not. I don't know that it's ever gonna be business as usual after this. I don't know that we'll ever be able to. We used to always look at germaphobes and say, "Oh, he's a fucking germaphobe." But it turns out the germaphobes were onto something before everybody else, Obviously, you got to be clean, wash your hands, and do all that stuff. But I think you got to be overly cautious now. And I think I've been looking at that and thinking, what is a post-quarantine world going to look like? And how am I going to fit into it? How am I going to, thrive in this new world? Because that's literally what it's going to be. It's like post 9/11. Now it's going to be post 3/11. If you guys probably flew before 9/11, and it was a different experience than flying after 9/11. Or just go ahead, Orlando.
No, that's the perfect example. What you just said. We'll just keep on going, and we'll figure it all out. One thing, because we're for that generation that got to witness 9/11, the horror that it was. And, you got people like my nieces and nephews. I love them to death, but it's like they look at me like I'm speaking a different language when I say, yeah, you used to be able to walk me all the way to the plane and wave at me from the gate, like, hey, why, you know? So
yeah, you ever watch those old movies where the fiance or whoever takes them already, they kiss? I'm like, dude, how do you get through security? I don't buy none of it.
And smoking cigarettes in the plane.
Yeah. I used to wear little suits. My mom wouldn't let me fly without a little suit. I had to have a suit on the plane.
It's so funny how you like, you know, you were saying like these germaphobes, but I'm like, as you get older and new experiences, how you start taking on those things and they become sort of the new normal. Like I remember when I first started doing comedy, you know, we'd fly to do colleges and you see those people wiping stuff down and you see some people with masks on. I'm like, look at this idiot right here. Look at this moron. And then all of a sudden, boom, I got kids. And I'm like, oh, I got to wipe it down because they touch everything and they get sick. And now with the mask, it's like it's normal. Like I'm never gonna make fun of anybody with a mask on because now you're making fun of people with no mask on.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely gonna be a different world, and I think comics, we're creative enough, and we've always overcome adversity. You know, there's only a very small percentage of comedians in this profession who are in a place where they have villain money. You know, there's a shit ton of rest of us who are, you know, crying and hustling and trying to get to the next level, not just in comedy, but anywhere else. Right. So by nature, we learn how to figure it out. So there's no doubt that we're actually going to all figure it out. Right. It's going to be a different landscape, you know, if you will. I don't know that it's going to be what it used to. Think of all the meet and greets where you're hugging and kissing people that are strangers, you know. And I remember when Gabriel used to have his meet and greets, and there'd be these lines, and sometimes it'd be like, dude, this town doesn't bathe much, right? Because you can smell the foulness, right?
Yeah.
And back then, you know, you still let them put their arm around you. You take a picture with them. Yeah. Now, like, hey, man, get behind me, Satan. There's no way I'm letting you do that shit.
Which is actually good now. Now I'm good with it. I've always been a little bit iffy about shaking hands, but now it's legit. Now I have a legit excuse. I'm not a germaphobe. I'm just trying not to die. And then a little fist pump. See you later, buddy. See you later.
Either that or you're gonna need a version of like a meet and greet dental dam. Just like, hold on. All right, guy, put your arm right there.
Yeah, sure. And then all the Me Too stuff that's happening, you know, I feel bad for anybody that had to go through any Me Too stuff. But there was a lot of comics that I picked up when I take pictures with the ladies. I make sure that all my hands are showing. My hands are always like, so if I put my arm around them, my hand's right there. There you go. And I don't smile too big, so when my wife sees the picture, oh, you really liked her, huh?
Oh, who's that? Who's that? She put hearts? She put hearts on?
That doesn't seem like you're not even that popular to have fans.
She loves your comedy? She loves it?
Bro, that's you know, that's awesome. And I've been in Saudi Arabia, you know, where you're doing like a meet and greet, and then when the women come up, some of them you're not allowed to touch them at all, not even on the shoulder or anywhere. You can't put your hands on them. Some of them are a little bit more progressive or whatever. They were raised a little different. So they're like, oh, it's okay to put your arm around me, but you don't do it unless you're invited to do it, because otherwise it's considered highly offensive. You piss her off, you piss her husband off. It's a whole nother level of you know, respecting personal space. You know what I mean? Like over here, you're like, oh, I had my hands where you could see them. Over there, it's like you can't even touch them, bro, because it's like you defiled her all of a sudden, right?
I'm down with that.
You can't even you can't see their face, you can't see nothing, because then you ruin them, and then they can't get married. They're not clean anymore, you motherfuckers.
Well, that's the way I agree with
you over there, dude.
Yeah, no, but that's the way I think it should be. You should be invited every single time. Am I invited? Am I invited? Yes? Okay. And then you put your arm around them, and it goes all the way around, then you show your palm like that in the picture. You ain't gonna Taylor Swift me, bro.
Or you got holding props so they can see, like, look, the bowling pins. Look, they're still up, baby.
Always holding something.
Orlando, you got an offer right here. Somebody says they'll sell your boxes for $1,000.
Nah, I'm good. I already learned my lesson, Juan.
Now I know Hooter says he's building stuff around the house. Are you actually handy, or you
Bro.
ghetto putting stuff together?
Bro, that's after fucking 6 hours of YouTube, bro. And then I
100%.
Dude, 6 hours of YouTube, I could fix or build anything, bro. And if I get stuck, dude, I just go back to it and yep, that's your boy right there, bro.
Some people getting creative, man. This dude's building a pool.
That's dope.
That's
dope,
bro.
Yo, by the way, 100%. I stay strapped with shrink wrap at my house. That thing, I have a roll on deck at all times. That thing is magical.
You think this thing holds? That's the question. You think it's gonna hold?
It'll hold.
1,000%.
It'll hold.
1,000%.
I don't know if it's because you guys see that they're Latino, you're like, oh, it's gonna hold, or if it had been
yo, they put in a ladder.
Yeah,
there's a ladder.
That shit look like an infinity pool, bro. Are you kidding me?
That's
that shit looked nice, bro. That was legit.
That's gonna be on Bravo, $1 million listings right there. House in Encino.
I'll tell you,
yeah.
You have time right now. If you ever wanted to learn anything, if you want to learn a foreign language, if you wanted to learn how to build a freaking pool, a trampoline, bro, I'm taking bartending classes on YouTube. I'm taking cooking classes on YouTube. By the time I get out of this quarantine, I'm going to have so many certifications. It's going to make everybody's head spin. Not only am I going to be funny, but I'm going to be a gourmet chef, a mixologist, a freaking artist. It's so easy. Like you watch the videos and they convince you that all you got to do is have the proper pan and you too could make a Ruth Chris steak.
100%. I figured out, Gordon Ramsay taught me how to make fluffy eggs. And they're like off. Like I'm so proud of my fluffy eggs.
All butter.
All butter, son. All butter, yo. You just grab that butter and you don't put the salt in and you don't swish them around. You swish them around in the pan. Wow.
Oh.
Fluffy eggs. Then you put the salt after, and I got some Himalayan salt that's off the Richter. And the perfect steak, also, that perfect steak, which is 5 minutes. But before that, on the chopping board, you cut off the fat, put the fat in the frying pan, and let the oil come out of the fat. Take the fat out. Then drop the steak in after you rolled it on Himalayan salt and pepper on the chopping block. You just roll it and then drop it. 5 minutes, take it out, let it rest. Medium rare, fantastic.
You see, you're going to cooking college. I'm going to cooking college.
You go.
Hooter's going to handyman college. It's like we are getting educated during this quarantine because there's a lot of people that are like, I don't know what to do with myself. Learn something.
Learn something.
Walk away with something. You might not be able to do your normal routine, but you can learn something. And it feels so good when you learn something. And then I start talking about it like I've been doing it for years, homie. I figured out espumita and the cafecito, the Cuban coffee, because I'd never made espumita before. I figured out the espumita, and I'm sitting there looking at Hooter because he's got a little cafetera, right? And I go, hey, you make Cuban coffee? And he's like, yeah. I go, how do you make your espumita? I did it one time, but here I am trying to school people on the freaking espumita, homie.
Yeah. What's the drink that you learned how to make, Martin? What's like one drink that you learned how to make that you didn't know how to make, but now you're like, yo, I learned how to make
my dad has a full menu now, bro.
Yeah, all I know is I'm gonna go get coffee at your dad's because I'm sure he's probably doing these right here. My man's doing design.
Yes.
What you?
Yes, dude. Hey, but instead of a heart, it's a weed plant, bro.
The old-fashioned, brother, an old-fashioned with some nice bourbon. And also, there's so many different ways to make a martini. And I always thought like a vodka martini, but you use gin for a lot of these martinis, you know? And then the way that you stir it, like we always grew up like shaken, not stirred. Turns out you stir it to make it cold. Yeah. And so these martinis, the cafecito, like I said. And by the way, I don't know if you guys ever drank Cuban coffee and how it gets you wired up.
Yeah.
Okay. They give that coffee way too much credit. Way too much credit, because the amount of sugar that you need for that freaking espumita is what makes your hair stand up. I think the sugar is getting neglected and the coffee's getting all the credit because that sugar's picking up weight. These goddamn Cubans need to freaking admit that it's a sugar rush that they're on, not a coffee.
Not the coffee. Not Bustelo. Not the
Bustelo. They give Bustelo way too much credit. It's the freaking sugar, homie. I'm like, the first time I made it, I'm like, whoa! Like I was wired like I did a bump in 1985, brother. That Escobar, you know, because of this little cafecito with the sugar. And then you tailor it down. You kind of figure out exactly how much sugar you need to make the espumita. But I was so excited, guys, when I figured out how to make that little froth on the top. I was so proud of myself. I went out and bought a little freaking, creamer thing of metal, and I'm freaking beating it up with the freaking board. It's fantastic. But learning
and
how
that's the hustle. You got it down. It's the little metal container, the creamer dispenser, and then you smash it up and the Hooter, how about you? I know
you were talking about learning how to make old fashions. Have you tried a mezcal old fashioned?
I haven't,
dude. Like me and my wife, like we found this place out here that they give you the mixers and stuff so you can learn how to make drinks. And we do like a special drink every weekend. So she orders, they bring the stuff, and you learn how to make. And they did mezcal old fashions, dude. I was like, wow. Like I've had regular old fashioned, but mezcal is a whole different level.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of mezcal, bro.
I'm a big fan of mezcal as well. I think mezcal is so underrated. And then it also gets a bad rap because then you get all these hipsters that are going to all these mezcal bars and shit, just like the rum bars out in the East Coast a few years back. All of a sudden, all these hipsters were at the rum bars and things. And then people start hating on the drink. Hey, man, don't hate on the drink. It's like if a bunch of freaking assholes want to drink it, let them drink it. But don't dismiss it just because a group of people are drinking it, So I think that's what happened with mezcal. It got a bad rap because it's like, oh, it's this, this preppy thing or this blah, blah, blah. It used to be, when I was growing up, it used to be, the yuppies. Now it's like the hipsters. The hipsters became the yuppies of today, But what you were asking Hooter something, and then I started fucking going bananas.
Hooter, what's the thing that you built that you're most proud of, that you put together, that you built? Did you do anything from scratch or from IKEA?
No IKEA, bro. And also, IKEA just reopened, bro. And every morning there's a line to get in, dude. And I don't understand why. Who wants to build shit from IKEA?
No, it's just free air conditioning. You could knock off like a good 2 hours in IKEA. I got lost for a weekend in IKEA. I started following the arrows. I didn't know how to leave IKEA, bro. There's secret passageways.
Dude.
So what did you build? Funny, what was the thing? What did you build?
Okay, so I had this old ass play set for kids, right? It was like a swing set. But it was kind of old, and it needed to get sanded. It needed some love. It needed some touching up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna build this for my kids. And then, like halfway down, I realized I had fucked it up way too much, and there was really no saving it. So then I turned it into a garden, bro, like a garden bed, and we planted watermelons, pumpkins, and shit, and we painted it. I let the kids paint it, and like. They put their handprints on it. They put their names on it. So we built like a little family garden, and we planted stuff in it, and it ended up being awesome. It ended up being a lot better than the house that I was originally gonna build them.
Is that what you done yourself, Hooter? I love it. You built this garden. Look, you like that garden? What was it supposed to be? Hey, that's not the problem. That's the garden.
Why does the side of it look like a window? Like, I don't get it. But why? But has anything grown? Have you ate from your garden?
I ate. We ate green onions the other day. We had a green onion, and I have chickens, so we used those eggs. We put a little bit of onion from our garden. We put some jalapenos and tomatoes in the
From the garden?
in the eggs. Yup, and we made a little huevos a la mexicana,
Yeah.
bro.
Nice. Hey, Eric, what did you have delivered?
That's what we doing. That's what I'm learning stuff too. I don't like that you all attacking me. I learned how to do stuff.
Eric's the only one who hasn't been on YouTube till 3 a.m., bro. Everybody else has been
I'm gonna
on YouTube till
embarrassingly
4 a.m. but Eric.
I'm gonna embarrassingly admit this. My wife has put me onto this website. It's an Instagram account called Half Baked. And what this woman does, she just puts up recipes, and I end up making these damn recipes because they are like the most ridiculous things you've ever seen. Hold on, I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, my wife was like, "Oh, what's this?" And dude, I follow this woman. Like, this is the equivalent of Pinterest for me right here.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm gonna show you. I made this pizza last week.
Oh, you made a pizza?
No, but like I'm telling you, her recipes are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's official. That's official.
We make no money. She don't cut me no checks. So follow Half Baked Harvest. She does desserts. We had a peach crumble a couple weeks ago with the cinnamon. It was ridiculous. This woman, what I don't like about this woman and most people that cook, I don't understand how they are so fit and stay so trim. Because I eat this and I can feel the weight coming on as I'm eating.
I don't think they eat it, man. I don't think they eat it. I think, Anthony Bourdain, God rest his soul, I think the homie only took a couple of bites, pounded that liquor real hard, and kept it moving, dog. I don't think they eat it.
Like this is, I forget what the show is on Netflix where they interview like different restaurant like chefs and stuff. There's this woman that does Milk Bar. She's here in LA, and all she does is desserts. When I tell you this woman, in the whole episode, she's eating deep fried Twinkies, she's eating cake, and she is rail thin. I'm just like, there is no way, unless immediately just right out of system. There's no way.
I just think it was just for the episode, bro. They only do it for the episode, man. But that's good. You're also becoming a chef, low key.
And low key, man. Like my thing said, it's the perfect time to pick up new traits.
Yeah, but I think who's winning right now has to be Hooter because he has chickens. He has a garden. He's winning, dude. He's surviving quarantine above average survival. You get me? Above average.
He's got the only garden that has a doorbell and a front walk for no reason.
Yeah.
My garden has a 2-bedroom, bro. Each veggie has their own room, dude.
So you guys on. So now you guys have been doing the Yo-Yo podcast for how long now?
What is it? 3 years now, Hooter?
Yeah.
We started in
3 years.
And how'd that come about? Like, because it's very rare you see father-son combos come together and go, let's do this.
So in 2017, Gabe took a break from touring. I'd always wanted to start a podcast, and I had actually started a couple of them with a few different people. Episodes that never went out, I tried here with this person, with that person. Sometimes it was timing, sometimes it was the chemistry, sometimes it was whatever. So I never put anything out, but I always wanted to do one. It's just I was always on the road and never had the time. When Gabe decided to take some time off for, I'm not putting anything on blast. He put out a statement at the time where, he just needed some mental health time for himself and just to kind of regroup and take a break from just grinding for, 20 plus years nonstop. All of a sudden I found myself with a little bit more time. And, I had thought about starting a podcast with this person, with that person. And I said, you know what, Hooter, why don't we just start a freaking podcast? And, you always want the right equipment. You want the name. You want the artwork. You want all that shit. And I'm the type of person that I don't know if it's making excuses or what it is, but if it's not perfect, I don't want it out there, right? And so, or I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have that. I said, you know what, fuck it. Whatever equipment we have, let's do that. Well, we don't have artwork. Who gives a shit? We don't have a name. We didn't even have a name for it the first few episodes. And there was a guy, Victor Valena, who was helping me with the technical stuff side of it. And I remember the first episode, we used an ironing board to put the equipment on. And we just dressed it up with like a little rug and some lights or whatever the hell. We put a tapestry behind us, and we just put up the phone, and we just, went live and started doing it. And I remember saying to Victor, my problem is, once I get talking, it's not a big deal. My problem is, what do I say in the beginning? How do I start this thing? And then he goes, well, you just go on there and you say, yo, 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 and then you go. And I was like, fuck it, let's say yo, 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 and then we fucking go. And so then we started saying yo, yo, yo. And before you knew it, it's like, well, we say fucking yo, yo, yo. And we did it more as a joke because that's what he said to do. And I'm like, you know what? That's funny. Let's just do it. And before you know it, that's what we're saying. So then we decided to call it that. Then eventually we got some, the artwork was a picture of us talking into the mics. So we had no name. We had no real studio. We had no artwork. We had nothing per se that would say start a podcast. But it's a matter of, I hate to use the cliche, but let's cliche it all up. Just do it. And I think that's what it takes most of the time, is to just dive in and do it. We started talking. We started, you got to understand, at that point, I'd been on the road for a big part of my life, a big chunk of my life. I'd been on the road. So I'd see Hooter when I'd come home, and then I'd be gone. Sometimes I'd be gone for months at a time, So
now at this time, is Hooter doing comedy? Because I know you're fairly new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing this 15 years. Orlando's got about the same thing you've been.
No, I got 10, old ass.
Oh, okay, all right. Listen, first of all, you look like Sanford and Son right now behind your boxes. You gonna attack me? You look like a dad that's sitting on the porch waiting for somebody to play on his lawn. Hey.
That's funny.
Well, that's what happened. I started late. I saw Gabe back in 2013. And I decided to jump in the pool. I don't know what that meant.
At that point, Hooter, you're doing comedy? You had started?
Yeah, I had already started. I was about 3-4 years in, and I too was doing podcasts with people, and I was trying to do it. And same thing, I didn't like any episodes enough to say, let's release this. And when I decided to do it with my dad, I remember telling him, okay, look, if we do it and record, we're not going to listen to it. Whatever we said is going to get put up, and that's that. There's going to be no editing. There's going to be no, let's listen to it before, because it's never going to be good enough. We're never going to like it. It's never going to be up to what we think is good. We're always going to feel like we can do better. So I said, if we do it, let's do it. And we haven't looked back since.
Nice. Yeah, it's so funny. Like sometimes people will hit you up and like, oh, I'm thinking about starting to do comedy. Or I'm starting to think about doing live streams. And it's exactly what you're saying. Like you have to just do it, because if you're trying to get everything perfect, it's not gonna be perfect the first time. I always say this. It's the pancake theory. Like when you make pancakes, that first pancake sucks. You burn it, you mess it up because you don't know what the heat is. And then the more you do it, by the end, the pancakes look great.
Yeah. The homie Juan, can you bring that up again, Eric? The homie Juan just said that it took him 4 months to listen to 200 episodes to catch up with the Yo-Yo podcast.
Wow.
He listened to 200 episodes in 4 months. Way to go, Juan.
Thank you. And you know what's trippy is that we get people that let us know, like, hey man, I just found you guys and I binged all your episodes. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to go in order. It's all nonsense from beginning to now. There's
no arc. There's no arc in
There's no arc and no growth.
There's no character development. None of that exists here. It's like
it would probably flow a lot better if they went mix and matched each fucking episode. Like if they went from episode 1 to episode 100, dude.
Yeah, if they started at the end and going backwards, it would probably make more sense. So, but it's very it's flattering. It's super flattering when people are able to sit through that many hours, And every time they hit me up, I always reply back because it's I have to acknowledge their their love, for us, because it's like, if you're willing to sit through that many episodes or that many hours of us talking craziness, the least I can do is reply back to you and say thank you very much for showing that kind of love and for the support. It's extremely like, wow, thank you. Like, they're like, oh, you entertain us, you let our day go by faster. It's a crazy relationship that you two have, but to listen to you guys talk, it's very real. One of the first episodes that we did was we were talking about, sex education. And he said that one of my sisters had told him that if he had sex, his pee-pee would turn blue and fall off. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and then I was like, hit that pause button, because it stops the recording. And it's like, we actually had a conversation. I'm like, who the fuck said that? And that's crazy time, but it was so raw and in the moment that it was like, it was almost like, again, I'd been gone for so long, and it's not like we didn't talk or anything, but it's a bit of a catching up that we ended up doing. And it turned into every week we'd catch up on each other's week. We'd catch up on what we were up to. He'd tell me about the kids. And it became this narrative of our lives. One day somebody pointed out, you talk a lot of shit about your kids, bro. You ever worry that one day they're going to listen to this and be traumatized as fuck? Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh my God, I never even thought that they're going to listen to this. A lot of times, when we say things, we say it, and to us, it's throwaway. But when we realize, oh, fuck, our family was listening, or, oh, shit, my sister was listening, or, oh, shit, I learned from Martin that if I hold my breath for 25 seconds, I don't have the Rona. So much fake news that we put out there, bro. But anyway, it's what the hell was I saying right now?
You just say it's all out there and it's all archived, which is funny because as a comedian, once the microphone is in your face, we're very vulnerable. We're very open. We don't go, oh, should I say that? Should I not? Dude, I did a podcast one time, and I was talking about weddings, and my wife took me to a family member's wedding. Mm-hmm. It wasn't her family. It was like she had married into, like, her sister had married into this family. Anyway, so she was like, oh, the wedding was great, and I was like, it was all right. Right. And that got me in trouble because the family called like, yo, we invited you to the wedding. How could you say it's all right? And I was like, listen, I'm a Yankee fan, right? I'm a New York Yankee fan. So if you give me tickets to go see the Brewers and Astros, I'm having an okay time at the game. I like baseball, but it's not the greatest game ever. I'm like, I had no attachment to y'all. It was fine.
Nice wedding, bitch.
Yeah, it was good chicken. I had an okay time. Like, I don't know why I was gonna have tears and be so involved. Like, I don't know you. I just met you.
But that's real petty.
I was being honest.
No, that was real petty. You were like, man, they only have finger food. This is bullshit. I didn't like it.
No, I didn't say anything.
Like it.
I had an okay
time. Really? Vegetarian menu? Vegetarian menu? Yeah?
Like, if somebody gave you World Series tickets, but your team's not in the World Series, you're gonna have a good time, but not the greatest time. You're not gonna cry if one of the teams wins.
Of course, for sure. That's valid. That's super valid. And here's the thing.
Dude, all I know is Eric isn't gonna get a save the date from me, dude.
Shit. The thing is that the more podcasts that you do, the more interviews that you do, the more content that you put out there, things that at the moment seem appropriate end up, 10, 15 years later getting you in trouble. Like, how could you say this shit? Well, fuck, back then it was okay. This is and so I think there's this digital trail, for many, many years of comedians. And I think that especially the last 15 years, for sure, it's a lot easier. Back in the day, you had to literally work on your craft for 10 plus years before anything got documented, put on a vinyl or put on television. By that time, you had time to polish what the hell you were going to say. We're in a generation where any dummy with a mic and a microphone and a camera can start putting content. And once that content is out there, it's out there forever. And a lot of times you look back and you start cringing. My God, what the fuck was I talking about?
Yeah.
What was I saying? What was this? What was that? And I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because you want to be as candid and real as possible,
Right.
but you also, you know, want to think about the future, and you don't want to piss people off. So, you know, it's again, it's a double-edged sword, because it's so easy to say.
No, and I also think, Martin, that this is the type of that, like, if you're an asshole, it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? You can't hold it. Yeah, and if you're gonna do a podcast for an hour, there's no way that you can control yourself for an hour. Because the minute that you get a little bit comfortable, you know, the assholeness is gonna come out there. And it's like they were like, wow, that was an asshole thing for Orlando to say. And it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It was Orlando being Orlando. So it's like, that's what's happening now, that people are just like, man, that's why interviews on podcasts should be 15 minutes, bro. 15 minutes when you have a guest on, and move on to your other guest.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get your guest in trouble if they're not a good human being.
By the way, can I just point out, we started talking about this, and Hooter has just been smiling and nodding like he's got a subpoena or a gag order somewhere. He's like,
hey, dude. Hey, man. Hey, I've said enough dumb shit on our podcast to fucking get me in trouble. So I don't want to add fuel. I don't want to get in trouble in multiple podcasts, bro.
and a lot of times the shit that we're talking about, we're making shit, like we're being sarcastic about something, and we're just like making up this fake scenario about something, but some people will run with it and be like, oh shit, is this true? The other day, I reposted somebody on Instagram on my story, and it said that male sperm cured the coronavirus when you swallow it, you know? So then I put, here you are, all these women saying men are trash for all these years. Turns out Miracle Jizz is the cure for the corona. You'd be surprised how many messages in my inbox were like, oh my God, is this real? Where's this information? And it's like, oh, fuck. Do I really have to clarify that freaking jizz isn't curing corona? Do I have to tell you that is a joke?
What you're saying is Louis C.K. was trying to help.
He was trying to,
he was trying to save lives.
He was trying to prevent this crazy pandemic from happening.
He was trying to give chicks antibodies, bro.
So yeah, it's and you're right. You know, we've got over 200 episodes now, which means there's, you know, probably close to 300 plus hours of us talking. We've said a lot of shit during that time to you know, piss off friends, piss off relatives. You know, I've had relatives you know, Hooter will be like, oh, blah 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 was watching. I'm like, oh shit, what are they doing watching? Like, you know, you just start thinking like, you know, because again, I don't censor myself. I'm very liberal, and I'm very, you know, some people would say I'm a crazy fuck, and that's fine. But by the same token, you know, a lot of my family are very conservative. If you meet my sisters, you wouldn't believe that they're my sisters. As a matter of fact, when we were in high school, people would be like, that's your brother? And my sister, you know, my sister couldn't be, all three of them couldn't be more polar opposites of me. You know, they're extremely conservative. I'm not. They don't smoke or drink. I do. They're responsible. I'm not. You know, I don't know. I can probably count the times I've used a condom. You know, I don't know. I don't do responsible things. But in my defense, look at me. What about this says some responsible shit's gonna come from me? You know.
Yeah. If I was to compare you to other 50-year-olds, you look wonderful compared to other 50-year-olds. Yeah, dude. There's 50-year-old people I know that can't even walk straight, dude. Here you are, tatted up. You know what I'm saying? Still living your best life. Go on, man. Got all your hair. Fantastic.
Making espumita, bro.
Making espumita, dude. Over here. People are out here trying to get off of sugar. People are trying to get off of sugar. Martin is heavier. He doubled down on the sugar because he's drinking Cuban coffee, bro.
Love the
He's
cute.
adding sugar to his life, dude. That's hilarious.
Meanwhile, his son is building a garden. He has a garden. He's like, there's like he's outside in the morning feeding chickens. Like they have reverse lives, you know. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it.
So now, so
You're way responsible than I am.
So what's next for the Yo 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 podcast for you guys?
You know, we started doing live shows. We started when we'd go on the road, we'd do a comedy show one night, and then we'd do a podcast, a live podcast with in front of a live audience the next day, and that started going really well. We started developing a little bit of a routine with that. Obviously, this has put everything on a hold. Right now, it's like, you know, what's the next evolution of the Yo 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 podcast. I think what's in the works right now is a Patreon where we'll give people bonus episodes. Hooter is going to do some home improvement stuff on there. So he'll record it and he'll teach you how to build a garden. He'll teach you how to patch up. As you know, you asked him if he was handy. This dude changed his water heater. He my grandson put a hole in the wall because he's a savage. Hooter patched up the wall, did a video where he went to Home Depot, picked up the shit, and then walked everybody through fixing it, you know? So he is handy. He mounted my TV at my place. You know, I can't do that shit. He could put up a ceiling fan. So he's going to put some of these, home improvement videos. I'm going to teach people how to make cocktails and cafecito with espumita. I'm going to do some recipes. I'm going to maybe do some yoga where I'm teaching people how to do, I call it yoga. It's basically old man stretching. But fuck it. It'll make you feel better. It'll make your muscles feel better. And I'll be able to walk people through that. And they realize that you don't have to have the perfect move in order to do it. Because I think yoga intimidates a lot of people because they feel like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Hey, man, I have my yoga blocks. And if I need to stack those blocks, I stack those blocks if I can't reach the floor.
You got to create your own yoga with your own positions. Instead of like downward dog, it's like, sitting man. That's it.
So I'm doing some workouts on the sand where I'm trying to actually stay active and work out on the beach. So I'm doing some sand running on the sand. So I'll record some of that stuff. So I think that's the next evolution, since right now we can't go anywhere. And let's be honest, a lot of that, hopefully we get some subscribers to help us fucking stay afloat during these times. If anybody's bawling and saying they don't need any kind of income, then fucking more power to you. But I think that you've got to get creative during these times and figure out what the next evolution is. So for us, it's a Patreon with some content from both myself and Hooter. Some of it together, some of it will be individual stuff, like me making the cocktails, the food, the cafecito, Hooter building shit.
Dude, you know what you need to do?
Let me tell you guys something, dude.
You know how Home Depot sells those kits? Like you could build a shed. You should buy those kits and just let Hooter create whatever he wants to create. It's supposed to be a table, and then Hooter's gonna make something else. It's supposed to be a house. It's a garden.
Bro, I'm a fucking artist, bro. You see one thing, I see something completely different, bro.
You're a creative force.
Let him create magic.
Bro, yeah, dude. The hardest part of home improvement is walking into Home Depot with a tape measure and a goddamn pencil on your upper ear, dude. Just walking around like you need to measure shit. You don't need to measure shit, dude. You just need to go in there for like a fucking hammer and some nails, dude, and then get to work, bro. That's it.
Yeah, but that's very impressive. When you have a pencil in your ear and a tape measure, people take you serious. You have to look the part for people to take you serious. Bro, I'm not handy at all. I am not handy. I'm the least handy. I could roll a joint, all right? That's about my freaking handiness right there. And I can make a cocktail, That's my handiness.
You do have the look like if I saw you in Home Depot, I would stop you and ask you questions. Like no one ever stopped me at Home Depot. I get stopped at Starbucks, Bed Bath & Beyond,
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, the Body Shop. Excuse me, where's the Ginkgo biloba lotion? Oh, that's over there. That's
no, yeah, dude. You just gotta go into Home Depot and you just gotta ask them like, "Hey, dude, what's your guys' lumber?" You gotta say shit like that. You gotta use words like that, dude, and people think you're really onto something. They think you have like this
lumber and 3/4. You always got to be like 3/4. That's about 372 and 3/4. That's what I think.
That's the other thing. You always have to guess measurements, bro. Just guess shit. Like, what is that? About 2,400 square feet? And then they just they take you serious, dude.
I'm having a hard time. It's an old house, and I can't find the studs inside the house.
You see, bro? Lando's got it, bro.
I got that dialogue.
This is how little I know. Our air conditioning unit broke in the house, and we had to get somebody to come replace it. The guy was like, "What's the square footage of your house?" I was like, "It's 2 bedrooms, man."
You tell him it's on Zillow.
Yeah.
It's on Zillow.
It's 2 bedrooms and a little room that we use for an office. It's a little.
I hired you.
Yeah.
You asking more questions. You're here to fix the air conditioner. Who cares how big it is? Just make it cold. Make it all cold. No matter if it's big or small. Just I want it cold, you monkey. Don't be asking me dimensions. I just want it cold. What does that have to do with the dimensions? The last guy that was here, he didn't ask no dimensions, and it was fun. We had to wear a jacket all summer. How come you can't do that?
Motherfucker, go inside my house and start walking and counting your steps, bro. You tell me. You tell me how many square feet I'm fucking with in there.
Here's an extra 10, monkey. Tell me how many square feet we got. What's wrong with you?
Well, the guys, I'm so happy you guys came on. Dude, I'm big fans of both of you. I've done the show. I honestly didn't know what to expect when I was on. Like, we went from topic to topic, and I was like, yo, this thing is insane.
You know what's funny? I have this reputation for being this crazy person. You know, we've had guests come on and they're like, hey, man, it's not going to get too crazy, right? And I'm like, no, Darren Carter, it's not going to get too crazy. You know, don't worry. We're not going to freaking make you put anything on blast, blah, blah, blah. You know,
we promise you're not going to run out of batteries on your flashlight.
You know, so I think they get like this. They think that they're gonna come in and it's like, so what's up, man? You smoke weed and you eat ass. What the fuck? Blah blah blah. You know, and it's like, dude, we're just having a conversation. We're just two regular dudes. Every once in a while, we go off the deep end, but it's not like we expect our guests to go off the deep end. We don't expect them to do or talk about anything they don't want to talk about. You know, although everything's fair game. I mean, demon sperm is in the news today. So what the heck? What I say is offending you? How is that even a possibility? You know what I'm saying? So I think we're living in a world today where I think less things are shocking people. You know, we live in a society where mainstream news again is talking about demon sperm. That's you know, we've crossed the line that we've never crossed before as a society. Meanwhile, you know, we're suspending baseball players for saying "nice swing, bitch." It's like, are you freaking kidding me? That's where we're drawing the line. But anyway, I don't want to get all too off on a deep end right there. But like I said, the Yo podcast is if you're not easily offended, check it out. If you are easily, I wouldn't say share it with your congregation or anything like that. But if your friends like to be entertained, definitely give it a listen. Thank you guys for having us on, and also those shirts. I'll give you props on the shirts. I saw them earlier. Big shout out to the homie Frankie Quinones, Creeper.
Quinones, dog.
Hell yeah, nothing but Frankie Quinones. Dude is funny. He's grinding it, and talk about grinding it and finding a niche and being innovative with yourself. You know, it's phenomenal, and people really resonate with Creeper, and they show love to Frankie. You know, so big props to him.
So tell everybody, I know the Yo podcast, they can find that on Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Where can people find you guys? Let them know.
MartinMoreno.com and Martin Comic, pretty much on all social media. I'm mostly on Instagram and Twitter nowadays because, you know, it's so easy to get put on Facebook jail, you know, so I don't want to piss people off. I do go on Facebook though every once in a while, but for the most part, I'm on Instagram and I'm on Twitter. Martin Comic on both of them. Chano Buentelo, thanks for the entertainment, fellas. Thanks for the love, Chano.
Your boy is at Hooter Moreno on all social media, and also follow at Could Have Gone Pro Show on Instagram to watch a weekly sports show that I do.
All right,
I was even
Orlando.
banging that shit out with no sports, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
what are you watching? You watching Korean baseball's up? You watching
Korean
that?
baseball, bro. I was watching that for a little bit, shitting on them, dude. I shit on everybody on that goddamn show, dude. So everybody go check that out.
And also, I just wanted to say quick congratulations to both of you guys on all your success and on your shows on Entre. I've seen them both. Very funny. As a matter of fact, Orlando, I was there when you recorded, and you freaking smashed. You destroyed.
So thank you, man. Appreciate you
guys.
Oh, that means a lot, man. That was all thanks to the homie. I know both of you guys know him, Edwin Licona. He's executive producer of the Entre series. He did Adorable with me. Edwin Licona is an amazing dude, above 40 years old, and he's on TikTok. Just wanted to say that.
Nice. Look at him.
Every week, man. Why do you do that to this guy? Why are you putting him on blast like that?
What? What did I say? What did
Are you not a TikTok fan, Lando?
No, I'm 40. No.
Yeah, he just like making fun of it. He's like a 40-year-old man should not be on TikTok. Follow Orlando on @HeyLando on all things, and I'm on Erik Rivera Comedy, and we will see you guys all next Wednesday. Have a good one.
Beautiful.
See ya.